These are the answers you can give for the 2 marks. So what is this cloud dynamic infrastructure? Dynamically changing according to the need of the client. Providing a computing service based on the user demand. Infrastructure, virtual desktop infrastructure. It is an end user virtualization solution. Hello students, welcome to the model question paper discussion of the cloud computing and big data analytics. In this session, I'm going to tell you about the questions, the pattern, question paper pattern, how you can answer to the questions carrying different marks. Okay, let's welcome to this session. The first thing you need to know is, as you know, the maximum marks in this subject you get is 80 marks. Among 80 marks, there will be two parts, part A and part B. Part A gives you 20 marks and part B will fetch you 60 marks. Okay? In this 60 marks, you will be having 4 unit questions. From each unit, you will be getting a question carrying 15 marks, maybe 1, 2 or 3 questions with 15 marks, total of 15 marks into 4 units, you will get 60 marks. Okay, let's look at the model question paper, how you can expect the question paper to be. So in this part, this is the part A, where in part A you will be having questions carrying, each question carrying 2 marks. You will get 12 questions carrying 2 marks. Among 12 questions, you have to answer 10. Any 10 you can choose, which carries 10 into 2, that is 20 marks you will get. If you correctly write, or if you write the answer, if you write the correct answer for each of the question, you will get 20 marks. It is little bit easier than the descriptive one. So try to answer these questions as much as possible. Maximum 10 it is. So try to attend all the 10 questions. Okay. Next comes is the part B question. Part B will have 4 questions, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. We'll have the set of questions from first unit. Okay. Here we have 2 set of questions from unit 1, where you will be having 2 or 3 questions carrying 15 marks. So this set will carry 15 marks. This carry 15 marks. It may be asked for 8 plus 7 or 5 plus 5 or 6 plus 5 plus 4. So like this can be asked, but each set will contain questions for total of 15 marks. Second set also, same thing, 15 marks. But the thing is, you have to answer any one set. Choose any one set to answer. If you answer both the sets, you will get only 15 marks. Even if you write 30 marks, set 1, set 2 from first unit, you are going to get maximum of 15 marks only. So other part will not be considered. Suppose if you attend all the 4 questions, for each question say it is 8 plus 7, you will get 7 plus 7, 6 plus 7. You have attended 4 questions. So how will you get the marks? This set will fetch you 14 marks. This will fetch you 13 marks. Among these two, one that is largest will be considered, highest marks will be considered. Another one will be considered as an extra answering and will not be considered for total marks. So try to attend any one completely. Okay. Like this, you'll be having 15th question from first unit, 13th question from first unit, 14th question from 2nd unit, 15th question from 3rd unit, and 16th question from 4th unit. This is the question paper pattern you can expect in cloud computing and big data analytics. Okay, let's look at the answer what you can give. Here is the question from first part, that is part A. You will get 12 questions. How you can answer is either in one definition, one statement, or one sentence, or in few words like that, or expressions like that. You can specify the answer. So these are the possible questions. Since this is a new one, you don't have a previous year's question paper, so we can just speculate the questions what may come. Okay, these are the answers you can give for the 2 marks. You can observe that the answers are brief. Don't prolong the answers. Don't give a descriptive answer for 2 marks question. You lose unnecessary time in that. Keep it precise as much as possible, so it will fetch you 2 marks. So this is the answer you can give for the 12 questions like this. Okay. Mean time to recover, mean time between failures, what are the 4 V's, what is ETL and ELT, all these things have been answered. Okay. So this is for the first part, that is 12 possible questions. Now let's move on to the descriptive part. First question will be from first unit, that is explain about the virtualization concept in cloud. Okay, you can give the answer like this. Maximum of 200 to 250 words you can write for a 8 or 7 marks question. For 5 mark, you can reduce it to 150 or 170 to 200 words. Okay, so you can give the answer like this for 8 or 7 marks. The next question is the deployment models, cloud deployment models, where they are deployed. In this, you'll be having 4 categories, that is public, private, and hybrid. And another one is community cloud. You can include public. You can give the explanation for each of it. Okay, so this is the community cloud. You can add that one. Next question is explain the 3 commonly used service models. Okay, so service models you can give us what service the cloud is going to provide. So we have platform as a service, software as a service, and infrastructure as a service. You can give the explanation like this. For each of it, you can provide few more explanation for each of the service you are getting. Next thing is the cloud dynamic infrastructure. So what is this cloud dynamic infrastructure? Dynamically changing according to the need of the client, isn't it? So collection of data center resources such as computing, networking, storage that can automatically provision and adjust itself as the workload demand changes. Okay, so this explanation can be given for a 7 or 8 marks question. Next question is the business process management in cloud. How does it is going to be handling in cloud the business process management? You can provide necessary points for the question that is already given in the notes. So this answer can be extended for 8 marks. The value focused efficiency, the continuous and the cultural, that is where it is staying. So all those things will affect the business process environment in the cloud. Next is to know about computing on demand. So how do you do computing on demand? Is providing a computing service based on the user demand or based on the user need. That is called as the computing on demand. This is computing on demand based on the demand of the client. The cloud service will be provided, which is called as the computing on demand. You can add the points to the presentation, or can add the points to the answer based on for how many marks the question is asked. Then you can have some more explanation if it is asked for 8 marks. Like this, you can add the points for the question. Next question is the virtual desktop infrastructure. Okay, what is this desktop infrastructure, virtual desktop infrastructure? It is an end user virtualization solution which looks like desktop of your PC or your laptop or in your generally your system. So that virtual look of the cloud will be called as the virtual desktop infrastructure. You can get the whole details of the service by the cloud within one module, which is called as the VDI or virtual desktop infrastructure. So we can add again points with this question. Like this, enterprise level, you can add some more answers. So next question is explain or describe the list and explain different chargeback models. How the services in cloud are charged. So we have models. We have the cloud chargeback models. One is the standard subscription based model, pay-per-use model, premium pricing model, and the hybrid model. You can give few points of explanation to each of the model that is asked. Here it is. Next thing is the third unit, that is about the big data. Okay. First thing is to know the different types of big data. One is structured big data, another is unstructured big data, and third one is semi-structured big data. We can add the explanation for each of the point: structured, semi-structured, as well as unstructured type of data. Okay, you need not to write these diagrams. You can just give the example. Okay, like this. The output returned by the Google search is an example for unstructured data. You can add like that. Then we have the big data framework. How the framework will be built for big data. You can provide the explanation. You have a corresponding diagram for the framework. Write this framework along with the explanation. So it will fetch you some more marks along with the explanation. For each of the point, each of the component in framework, you go on adding some of the explanation. You need not to add all these things. 2 or 3 points are enough for each component of the framework. Okay, these are the component of the framework. Big data functions, artificial intelligence, all these things are the components of the big data framework. Then we have big data analytics. So those are the points you can add. Next question is write about the characteristics of big data. So this question can be asked in different forms, like characteristics of big data or 4 V's of the big data or 4 dimensions of the big data. The answer is same for all these things. Big data can be described with 4 points, that is volume, variety, velocity, and variability. You can add few more explanation for each of the V's that are given in the big data, components of the big data. Like this, you can add the explanation. Next question is differentiate between ETL and ELT. So you know about the ETL and ELT, isn't it? Extract, transform, load, or extract, load, transform. So here we have the explanation for ETL and corresponding diagram for ETL. Then we have explanation for ELT, include the diagram wherever necessary. Okay, and give the difference between ELT and ETL. Next question is from the 4th unit to explain about the logistic regression. In logistic regression, you have to explain the example. How does the regression is set of values based on the curvature in the graph. So that explanation will be given with an example of age, income and gender. So we use the formula and the graphical representation of the logistic regression model. Okay, give the explanation for this. Next question is about the role of decision trees in analyzing a big data. Okay, for that also we can represent the tree diagram explanation about the trees. You can give like this example. You can take and explain how you can build a decision tree based on the different set of values. Next question is about the descriptive analytics in big data. Okay, so here we have the descriptive analytics explanation. It is called as the unsupervised learning. It will be having association rules. How does the data are associated with each other will be explained in this answer. You will be having support and confidence. How the data are interdependent on each other will be explained in this question. So next question is the social network analytics and write about the social network learning. Within social network analytics, you will have social network learning. You can give the explanation like this for the social network analytics using the various web pages which are interconnected, the email traffic, the research paper citation, the telephone calls between the customer of a telco provider, telecom provider, will all be the social networking. Analyzing the data based on that interconnection will be the social network analytics. So you can write the explanation for this question using these points. So this is about how you can answer a cloud computing subject. Okay, so it is pretty simple to answer. So you can have can give a better answer with this. Okay, try to add as much as points to the question, to the answer, so that you will get an advantage of having more explanation for a question. It will fetch you more marks in the examination. Okay, so this is all about the model question paper, which is the template how the question paper can come. Not exactly the same question may arrive. It is not mandatory, or the terminologies may be different. The term they have used while framing a question may be little bit different. Don't get confused. Features, characteristics, dimensions, all those objectives, all those things will be like a synonym in a question. So if we have read the answer as characteristics, if they ask as a feature, don't get confused. They are one and the same. So you can provide the same answer. So if the question is little bit changed, then no worry, we can give the answer in the same way. All right. All the best for the exams. Thank you.